perfection is not for the dumb or for the vain.
One of the things that I'm really understanding as we go through all of these materials that they left behind to keep army occupied while they serve is the reason they are unmatched as artists. Some artists are concerned about executing the art perfectly or becoming the best in this art. BTS isn't just concerned about perfectly executing those moves. They are also concerned about understanding the essence of the craft that they are pursuing. So it isn't just about rapping well. It's about understanding how rap came to be. It isn't just about dancing well. It's about understanding how did this dance genre develop? Where did it come from? Who were the figures that contributed to the growth of this genre? What are the emotions behind it? So when you have such an understanding of a craft, you're able to better able to create art that will have so much depth and so much meaning that it can reach more people. It becomes more relevant and it becomes more powerful because you're not just pursuing the execution. There's actually an essence behind it. There's a reason behind it. And that's what this documentary is a perfect example of that, because Jhope didn't just learn the dance from the best dancers in the world. He tried to understand their life, why they continued pursuing dance, how it started, where it started, who were the other people that were monumental or important in the development of this dance genres. So keep that in mind as we go through this review. If you do end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe and hit that notification button, and share the video if you can. For those of you asking, I will be uploading, I think I have already uploaded one content in Patreon, and I will continue uploading once or twice a week. I just want to get a rhythm or see what's really going to add value and see what you guys are going to like and what I will enjoy doing. And then we'll perfect it until we get to the rhythm of things. Okay, let's go to the video.
Humility versus humiliation. It has always been interesting to me that the words humility and humiliation are from opposite ends of the spectrum, but they sound so much alike. Both words are derived from the same root humus, meaning earth or ground. The main difference lies in the intent. A forced deprivation of food is starvation. Voluntarily not eating for long periods of time is fasting. In the same manner, a forced deprivation of respect that is desired is humiliation. But if you voluntarily turn away from recognition and respect to focus on something more important to you, that's humility. I have to admit though, I don't always immediately recognize the difference. So when the first episode of Hope on the Street aired and I realized he was going to learn from some of the most legendary figures in street dancing, my initial reaction was worry. Why dance against people who have dedicated their life in the art of dancing, honed their skills longer, and didn't have to divide their attention between writing music, shooting music videos, or attending events like he did? Why put yourself through that and possibly expose your weaknesses? I felt like it was an invitation to let just about every hater and their dog humiliate him with horribly edited moments just to smear his reputation. It's like handing critics a loaded gun and standing 6 feet away from them without even a vest. It wasn't until the third episode that I realized what he was actually trying to do. Although this entire journey is open for the world to watch, this isn't about other people or for other people or what they may think of his skill when put side by side some of the greatest dancers in the world. This has everything to do with his humanity, to try and find his bearing, his anchor, so he remains firm. This is about him seeking wisdom, chasing reality, and working to become better at the craft that he really loves. It is his return to his roots, an examination of his young soul and a surrender to the kind of dancer he could have been, to guide him towards the kind of solo artist he could really become. This is one of the greatest acts of artistic humility you will ever see, the kind you will find only in those soaking in greatness. An unglamorous art. One of the things that surprised me was how markedly unglamorous street dancing was portrayed in this series. Usually, documentaries centered on an art would make the art look and feel glamorous. It didn't make sense to me that all they had was their speaker and everyday clothes each time they would go out on the street to dance. Did he not plan for this? Is he not interested in making armies appreciate the beauty of street dancing? The answers might be what I exactly didn't expect. He was, in fact, highlighting the beauty of street dancing. He was actually making it glamorous. But it isn't the superficial kind. It's the real kind of beauty and glamour, one that you feel and not just see. The beauty of street dancing is how it connects with you, how you see your life in it, and how you see it in your life. And to a certain extent, it's one of those things that you either get or not get. No amount of spotlight, makeup, luxury brand jackets, and shirts will change that. And that's what J-Hope understood perfectly. He laid it down on the table. No filter, no tricks. That's street dancing. That's art. And you either get it or you don't. Unconditional love.
If there's anything that J-Hope accomplished well in the series, it is to introduce street dancing to mere mortals like me. I love watching hip-hop dancers, don't get me wrong. From Manila to California to Las Vegas to New York, I like watching them. But I never really thought of it as an art or as a craft. And I certainly don't think about the preparation that goes behind it or the principles of the movement itself. To me, street dancers were that. They were street dancers. But J-Hope spending time and learning from these people who have been pursuing street dancing for such a long time, and all of them are way older than J-Hope, and them talking about the passion, why they still do it after all of these years, made me realize or see their humanity, and that allowed me to see the artistry behind their craft. When Link asked, if you don't get anything out of dancing, will you keep on dancing? That was such an important question, because you really can apply that in almost any aspect of your life. Just ask, if you love somebody and the person doesn't love you back, will you continue loving that person? Or would you want something in return for you to continue loving that person? What if being honest doesn't give you any kind of reward or satisfaction? Will you still continue to be honest? If being good doesn't give you anything in return, will you continue being good? It's that, do we need reward for us to continue pursuing something that we like just because we enjoy it, or do we need something in return? J-Hope is right. You can find so much about life in dance, and you can find so much about dance in our lives.
Could have been. Have you ever met up with an old friend you lost touch with, or with people you used to work with in your old theater group or old acting club or old job? Have you ever looked at someone and said, that could have been my life? How did it make you feel? To a certain extent, J-Hope was actually looking at the life he could have had if he didn't join BTS. These people could have been him. I wonder if that crossed his mind at any point during that journey. And I wonder, how did it make him feel? From Bungalow Kin to Link, they all have undeniable passion in what they do. It's so strong that you can actually feel it through the screen. You can see it in their moves, you can hear it in their voices. All past their prime, they're still grinding it for the sheer art of what they love. That art is the art that J-Hope loves, and I'm curious how J-Hope feels seeing what he could have been. And I'm also curious about you. Have you ever been in a situation where you came face to face with the person you could have been, and how did it make you feel? Share them in the comment section. This is Jhope opening up to his friends, armies.
There was a point in the documentary when I started getting confused. Maybe it was the marketer in me, but I started asking myself, and I wondered who his target market was. I was like, are you trying to market to dancers, talk to dancers and inspire them for them to continue doing what they're doing? Or are you trying to make armies and mere mortals like me appreciate street dance? Because quite frankly, it did not look glamorous to me. It didn't feel aspirational, and it did not excite me at all. In some parts, I actually felt exhausted. I was just asking, like, God, Jhope, what is it that you're doing? And it wasn't until the last episode that I figured it out. And funnily enough, it was something that he said from the very beginning of the documentary. It was his journey. It wasn't ours. It wasn't meant to be for anybody else but him. And he was just taking armies with him. So, that just felt so stupid when I realized that it did not matter that it wasn't glamorous or exciting or aspirational, because it was supposed to be frustrating. It was supposed to be exhausting. It was supposed to be confusing, because that's how you feel when you're trying to rediscover yourself, or when you're trying to go back to who you were, or if you're trying to understand yourself. And Jhope captured that perfectly. It wasn't just a journey back to his original artistry. It was his journey back to his humanity.
Can you love what you don't enjoy? Jhope mentioned that sometimes he questions whether he really enjoys what he does, or is he simply pretending to enjoy it? He, however, emphasized that he is sure he loves what he does. This is an all too familiar feeling that many of us don't understand but actually feel. Sometimes it costs us our relationships or jobs. Exhaustion and routine can take away the magic of what we love doing. Jhope has been with BTS for 13 years. It's natural for him to feel the wear and tear, but it's a relief that despite the exhaustion, he is certain of his love for what he does. I firmly believe that this time away from their work will actually allow them to rediscover the joy of what they do, and hopefully also find the right balance so that they can live their life more. Standing on the shoulders of giants, Jhope knew what he was getting himself into. He knew that the people he will be approaching are some of the most respected in the field. Bungalow Kin highlighted something very important. Army already knows that Jhope is a great dancer. In this journey, it's the inner circle in street dancing that could learn of Jhope's greatness. He isn't wrong, but I also feel there is another dimension to this. I think Jhope is fully aware of his power to move and influence armies. He knows that a show like this will inspire many armies to research about the dancers that he will be meeting. This is a chance to highlight the industry Jhope has come to love and the people in it. Many street dancers before him helped grow the art. Their legacies are the giants that street dancers of the present and the future will be standing on. But it also has to be recognized that Jhope is a giant himself. He may not have pursued street dancing in its purest form, full time, but he himself is a giant in his own industry. And as he helped bridge mainstream with street dancing, he is quickly becoming one of the giants future street dancers will be standing on. He isn't just an artist, he is a lover of art.
Seeing Jhope learning, being a student instead of being the one in command, is a little disarming, confusing, surprising, but also it's very, very brave of him. He is a global superstar. He is the dance leader of BTS, the GOAT. And here he is getting frustrated because he couldn't make his body move the way that he wanted it to move. It was like deconstructing Jhope. He could have easily shown moments when he was nailing the movement. Instead, he allowed us to see his frustration, his confusion, his weaknesses. And I don't really remember watching any other superstar of his caliber allow himself to be this confused in a craft that is supposed to be his expertise. I don't remember. And you really can't be more honest than that. You can't be more real than that. You can't be more humble than that. And it made me appreciate and respect him a bit more, because he really proved that he isn't just an artist, he's actually a lover of art. He isn't just a dancer, he is actually a lover of dance. He isn't just doing it because he's curious. He's doing it because this is him. This is a part of him. And this is actually beyond purpose. This is his essence, and he is allowing us to see his journey towards finding it.
Jhope from the eyes of his past.
I would have loved to hear more about and from Bungalow Kin. I know that he talked a little bit about how it made him feel spending time with J-Hope, why he decided to accept the project. But I just want to know, coming from a family of educators, I know that one of the greatest accomplishments and compliment for a teacher is to see your student becoming better or more successful than you are. I know that they have different types of successes. J-Hope is successful in the mainstream industry, and then Bungalow Kin is successful and very, very much respected in the street dancing community, especially in Gwangju. So I'm not saying that J-Hope is more successful. They're just successful in different ways. But I want to be able to dig a little deeper in his mind and know, like, how does it feel now that you're face to face with the one person? Because remember, it was their group who trusted J-Hope and took J-Hope on their wings. J-Hope didn't have money to pay for lessons, but they took him in, made him a member because they saw the potential in him. And now he's a global superstar. I just want to know, like, what's running through your mind. He did say that it made him think that spending time with J-Hope, it made him think a little bit more, do a little more research. Like, what was it that you were researching? What was it that you were thinking? I want to know more about how he was feeling and what he was thinking. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know which moments are your favorites. If you have any additional information, additional inputs, I am looking forward to reading them. Please leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you can, please give this video a like. Also, hit that subscribe button and that notification button so that you know when there's a new video getting published. And share the video if you can. Please follow me on Patreon. There is a free membership, so please become a member. And if you want to support me, there's also paid membership. I will start uploading regularly next week, once or twice a week. Also follow me on X or Twitter, and on Instagram. I'll be announcing some exciting personal projects very, very soon, and I hope to communicate with you more. Thank you.